Welcome back to the podcast, guys. You already know what it is. It's Black Diamond Podcast, and I'm your host, Will White. Shout out to everyone here who's joining me live, and shout out to everyone who's joining pre-recorded. You know, I'm going to be watching this after the fact. We got a great episode for you today, so let's get into it. But before we do that, let's talk about where you guys can find me, right? Check me out on all social media platforms. YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with somebody who needs to watch this because we got a great topic today. We're about to get into some interesting reactions, right? Also, find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those places, right? Check all the content. Been posting more content for you guys, so check that out. Definitely check out my channel, the old clips, new shorts that are coming out. And stay tuned for more because, you know, always getting better. But without further ado, let's get into the topic a little bit. You know, you see the title, and we're talking about how modern men ruin today's dating marketplace, right? And why this is important and how this kind of came about and what are the ramifications that we're seeing today on social media, right? So we're talking about the basic modern day man, right? And for a lot of people who don't know what that looks like, that's basically the guy who thinks that men and women are equal and that he can basically operate the same as a woman can operate. And all my guys on this side of the internet, which is the manosphere, red pill, we know that's just not true. You can't operate or think or even behave the same way as a woman will in the dating marketplace, because that's not going to get you the results that you want to see. So we're going to dive a little bit more into that. We're going to go over some of the videos that I found on social media that basically have kind of shown what happens when you're not the leader or when you're just not a masculine man in general in your relationship, and what that looks like and what are the negative consequences of that, right? So, guys, check out my new setup, right? I got rid of the computer that was in front of me, right? It's a little bit more cleaner now, as you can see, right? Everything's just a little bit cleaner, okay? Still got the 3 cameras going. And the channel is growing. We're getting better. Each and every day, we are getting better. All right. Make sure everything is working. Yes, we are looking good. We are looking really good now. All right, guys. Let's get into this video reaction. Let's not waste any time. We got a jam-packed episode, and we are running a little bit late. Okay. Just this. All right. If you guys haven't been following me, follow me on X. I'm actually streaming this right now on X. So shout out to Elon. Definitely doing this thing. Personally, this is the best place to find content to react to. Instagram, YouTube, they just don't show the trending videos as much as X does. So if you haven't, follow me on X. All right. So first video I want to react to is this one. Full screen that. All right. Let's watch this video. This is a video of a TikToker who explains her first date experience. We are gonna watch this and react to it.
A freaking date.
Wow, with that energy, it sounds like...
This is how you do not plan a freaking date.
Wow, with that energy, it sounds like a horror story. I can't wait to hear it.
I am here, gonna show you with receipts.
And you brought receipts? This is gonna be so good. I can't wait.
I had been on one date with this man. I think this guy is great. I had such a nice time with him. We had so much fun. We had a lot in common. I could not wait to go on a second date with him.
Ooh, I'm invested. You went out with him, enjoyed it. You told your girlies you were excited to go out with him, couldn't wait to see him again. He must have ruined this.
A week or so later, he finally texts me and is like, hey, are you free Sunday for brunch? I'm like, yeah, great.
Hey, good for you. You were excited to go out with him again, and now you've got plans to do brunch on Sunday. Like, what could have gone wrong?
That Saturday night, he sends me this text, are you still up for brunch?
Good for him. So he's solidifying the plans that he made with you earlier in the week for brunch on Sunday.
Yes, I'm still up for brunch.
Your energy shifted. You don't seem very happy that he's trying to solidify the plans that he made with you earlier in the week about Sunday. Am I reading this wrong?
I could come your way if you know a good spot.
I like this guy. He's asking if there's a place near you so that you don't have to travel as far, and he's gonna also make sure that you enjoy the food at the place where you're gonna go for brunch. Smooth tactics, man.
Okay, let me do the heavy lifting for you, buddy.
What? Huh?
So I give him a list of these places.
Perfect. Now he knows there is food near you that you like. All right.
He says, oh, the Dutch Eye. Not even sure what that means.
I read that differently. I read, oh, the Dutch, like this place is fire. And if you didn't understand him, why didn't you just say that to him?
So then that morning, I get a text from him. Howdy, how does two sound?
Okay, so he's still just trying to solidify the plans that he made with you earlier in the week.
I never heard back from him the night before.
Hold up. What do you mean you didn't hear back from him? The last thing that was texted the night before was him saying, ooh, the Dutch, you're the one showing the receipts. You left him on read.
So what do I say? Oh, when I didn't hear back last night about a reservation or anything concrete, I made plans for this afternoon.
Wait, what? Huh? I'm so confused.
You cannot, for a second date, try and make plans the morning of.
He didn't. Your whole entire story and your receipts show that he didn't try just the morning of. Like you said, he texted earlier in the week, and then on Saturday, he tried to solidify. You left him on read, and so he's texting you Sunday morning. What?
And so what is his response? Okay, cool.
That would have been my response too. Okay, cool.
He, I think, got the point.
He for sure got the point. I don't think you do, though. I love this story.
You missed out is what happened. Sorry.
I think he's good.
Right. So, okay. So, yeah, let's break this down a little bit. There's a lot going on in that video. There's a lot going on in that video, but that basically sums up what a lot of men are going through, right? And then you have the woman on one side who are trying to date, and then you have this guy giving his commentary who is an example of a modern day man, right? He thinks it's okay to just be kind of lackadaisy and, you know, not take charge. And that's really where the problem comes into place, is that the guy who started or initiated the date, he essentially didn't do anything wrong, right? From a written perspective by the book play, that's usually how you would go about courting a woman, making sure that your intention is there, and then leading up to the date, right? That's technically how you would do it. But women don't run on technicalities. They don't use logic the same way most men do. You have to play into their feelings, right? And the best way to do that is to make sure that you're taking charge in every aspect, especially when it comes to planning the date. The main issue with this was that the guy led with him wanting input from the woman, right? And when you start doing that, then you put the woman in a masculine sort of role, or in a role where she has to be a lot more decisive. And what we know about women is that they just want to show up. They want the man to plan the date, plan out where they're going to be, and just tell them where everything is and where everything's going to be, especially on the first date. And then they just have to come and show up and be themselves. Women don't want the responsibilities of planning the date, looking for restaurants, worrying about how they're going to get there. They essentially just want to show up, right? And this is kind of the balance when it comes to dating, is that as a guy, you do have to pay for the date, but you also get to choose the location, what type of date it is, and where it's going to be, right? You get to choose all those factors, and you don't need the input of the woman. Me personally, if a woman starts inputting her opinion or her thoughts about where they should be or how much it should cost, that's a red flag, right? That's something to watch out for. That type of behavior shows that she's used to taking the initiative. She's used to playing that masculine role, and that's not something you should essentially be looking for. So that video is pretty interesting, especially with the modern guy giving his commentary, kind of like backing up the guy. You're going to see that a lot, because that's how a lot of guys date. And if you look at it from a by the book perspective, it's correct. That's how you should go about dating. But as we all know, it's not going to lead anywhere. And yeah, maybe he did miss out on, a woman who was going to be a little bit full of herself. But you want more dates and more conversations that are going to lead somewhere, right? You're putting in all this effort for a week or so. I don't know how long they were talking, but you're putting in all this effort for 3 days, a week, just for it to come the day of and not lead anywhere, right? So essentially, you want to make sure that your time is not being wasted and that you're getting the most value from the time you're putting in and the effort that you're putting in with these women. So let's get one more video. We're going to react to one more video. Let me share my screen. Seems like we got a guest in here too. But let's play one more video. All right, and this is a new video, guys, that was released today. A woman having a meltdown on her boyfriend at the Fort Lauderdale airport in Florida. It's a real quick video. We're going to react to it.
We're just really stressed. I thought.
So that's the video, guys. Basically, a quick video of what I would pretty much say most guys are facing today when they're with the women, is that they're not being able to embrace their masculinity or the leadership role within the relationship, right? They're getting yelled at, they're getting nagged at, they're messing up clearly in some instance, whether it was his mistake or the airline's mistake. They're both aggravated, they're both irritated, they're both agitated, but the woman is having a meltdown and she's taking out all her emotions on him. And that's typically what's going to happen when you're not able to step up, you're not able to be that leader in the relationship, and your woman's going to walks right all over you. So this basically describes the modern day man in the dating world today. And we're going to discuss how we're going to combat this, right? What steps can we take so that men don't have to deal with things like this? Men can date properly. Men can take the initiative. Things they're doing right, things they're doing wrong. We're going to break all that down today. We're going to have a great conversation. So, let's get into it a little bit. We're not going to waste any time here. We're going to jump right into this conversation. We have a guest right now. So let's get them on.
Okay, I'm here.
Hello.
I'm breaking stuff. There
I'll
we
give you
go.
1 second to get ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Is this quality? I don't like this quality. I think I'm gonna switch to my phone. This is my laptop. On my side, I look kind of droidish. Is that what it's given to you too? To you too? I'm gonna switch to my phone. Okay.
You say you don't like the quality?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna switch to my phone. What do you think?
Hold on 1 second.
My email.
You say you don't like the quality?
Not on my end. You look great. You look really crisp. I look very.
Are you using a phone or a computer?
No, this is my phone in my hand. I'm thinking about to switch to this, but I'm on my laptop.
All right, you're on a laptop. All right.
Yeah, I'm like.
Got another guest. Let's bring them on.
Okay.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. All right. Before
Can
we
you
get
hear me
into the
well?
conversation, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Is there any feedback on your end? You guys all good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me just make sure. Okay, great. All right. So let's start with introductions. Can I get your name, age, what you do for work, your education level, and your dating status? So let's start with the person on my right first.
Me, that would be me. My name
In the
is
middle.
Courtney.
That would be you.
Okay, I'm Courtney. I don't remember everything you said, so you have to guide me. My name is Courtney. I'm 34. I'm a
You
Taurus.
said 34?
34.
Okay.
I'm in beauty school to be an esthetician, but I'm a waitress while I'm in school. I have 2 boys, and I am in a relationship. Did I answer everything?
What's your highest level of education?
Some college, technical school.
Okay, so high school would be the furthest you completed.
I've completed some technical things, but I haven't graduated with a degree now.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. My name is Erica. I'm 27. I'm sorry. What was the other question? I was kind of setting my camera up.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so name, age, education, highest form of education completed, what you do for work, and then your relationship status.
Okay. I just started over. I'm Erica. I'm 27. My highest level of education. I'm still in college. I'm technically in my sophomore year. I actually just went back to school last year. My major now is psychology, and I minor in business law. And my relationship status, I would say, is complicated. I'm still in a relationship, but we're going through some turmoil right now, fighting through it. Trying, we're trying to, we're trying to see if it's
That's
worth it
okay,
to
girl.
stay together.
Let me. I always hear this complicated like relationship status. If you met the right guy, would you be willing to stop talking to the guy that you were with?
So, that's actually a good question. I do not want to date until I am completely over the guy that I'm with. I had experiences. No, seriously, I had experiences in the past dealing with that. So I learned from patterns and probability that's not the best thing to do. So now getting out or fixing this relationship, I'm not interested in bringing any new energy in until, first of all, we decide what we're going to do. And second of all, I heal from the things of this relationship.
So you don't believe in having a roster or hot girl summer?
No, not anymore.
Not
Not at my
anymore.
27 evolved age. I am looking now for, like, if I'm gonna date somebody, I'm dating for marriage because I'm getting up there in that age, and I have an idea of a kingdom that I'm building, and I know I can't have my kingdom without my king.
But how are you gonna do that when you can meet the perfect guy right now, and you're in this complicated relationship status? You might be blocking your own blessings.
You are right about that. That's exactly
Right.
why I said the first stage is for me and my partner that I'm with, is to figure out if we want to move forward or not. But to bring other people while we're figuring that out is not the best.
It's not the best. All right. All
No.
right. All right. Last but not least, hello.
She wasn't
Yeah.
in when you wanted to introduce herself.
Yeah, we're doing introductions.
Okay.
Can I get your name, age, highest form of education completed, what you do for work, and your relationship status?
Do I have to give my exact age?
Got to get the age. You got to know what we're working with.
Okay. So, growing up, I was called Dee Dee, but my name is Deanna. I'm 36 years old. What I do for work? I own a boutique, and I am a event coordinator for hire. And on the side, I do Lyft. I'm also in the reserves going on 19 years,
Okay.
and that has been a fun ride. My relationship status, I am single.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so ladies, thank you for joining the show. We got a great episode today. I'm going to play a video. We don't have much time, so I'm going to play a video that I want to react to and I want to get your thoughts on. I played it a little bit earlier, but I'm going to play it one more time for you guys. It's basically a woman sharing her first date on TikTok. And I want to know if you think the woman did
This
the right
is how
thing,
you
or if
do
the
not-
guy messed up and didn't do the right thing. I want to get your thoughts overall. Can you guys see it?
Mhm.
All right.
This is how you do not plan a freaking date.
Wow, with that energy, it sounds like a horror story. I can't wait to hear it.
I am here gonna show you with receipts.
And you brought receipts? This is gonna be so good. I can't wait.
I had been on one date with this man. I think this guy is great. I had such a nice time with him. We had so much fun. We had a lot in common. I could not wait to go on a second date with him.
Ooh, I'm invested. You went out with him, enjoyed it. You told your girlies you were excited to go out with him, couldn't wait to see him again. He must have ruined this.
A week or so later, he finally texts me and is like, hey, are you free Sunday for brunch? I'm like, yeah, great.
Hey, good for you. You were excited to go out with him again, and now you've got plans to do brunch on Sunday. Like, what could have gone wrong?
That Saturday night, he sends me this text, are you still up for brunch?
Good for him. So he's solidifying the plans that he made with you earlier in the week for brunch on Sunday.
Yes, I'm still up for brunch.
Your energy shifted. You don't seem very happy that he's trying to solidify the plans that he made with you earlier in the week about Sunday. Am I reading this wrong?
I could come your way if you know a good spot.
I like this guy. He's asking if there's a place near you so that you don't have to travel as far, and he's going to also make sure that you enjoy the food at the place where you're going to go for brunch. Smooth tactics, man.
Okay, let me do the heavy lifting for you, buddy.
What? Huh?
So I give him a list of these places.
Perfect. Now he knows there is food near you that you like. All right.
He says, oh, the Dutch Eye. Not even sure what that means.
I read that differently. I read, oh, the Dutch, like this place is fire. And if you didn't understand him, why didn't you just say that to him?
So then that morning, I get a text from him. Howdy, how does two sound?
Okay, so he's still just trying to solidify the plans that he made with you earlier in the week.
I never heard back from him the night before.
Hold up. What do you mean you didn't hear back from him? The last thing that was texted the night before was him saying, ooh, the Dutch, you're the one showing the receipts. You left him on read.
So what do I say? Oh, when I didn't hear back last night about a reservation or anything concrete, I made plans for this afternoon.
Wait, what? Huh? I'm so confused.
You cannot, for a second date, try and make plans the morning of.
He didn't. Your whole entire story and your receipts show that he didn't try just the morning of. Like you said, he texted earlier in the week, and then on Saturday, he tried to solidify. You left him on read, and so he's texting you Sunday morning. What?
And so what is his response? Okay, cool.
All right, so we're gonna stop that right there. Okay, basically, you have the guy who initiated the date with this woman, right? He tries to plan it, doesn't go too well, and then you have the other guy who's basically giving the commentary. And he's siding with the guy, and then you have the woman. But I want to get your overall thoughts on the way that was handled, and your thoughts and opinions on it. Let's start with D first.
Okay, so long story short, I felt like she was tripping, especially if this is the second date. So I know with me, when I make plans, on my first day, I always say, just give me time, day, location, how you feel like I need to look, get that out the way. So by the time the second day rolled around, all right, we know we're doing brunch. Before, if he solidified it the day before, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna solidify my end and say, okay, this spot, this time, and we in there. I feel like she made it more complicated than what it had to be. And since they already went out on the first date, maybe working together a little bit, because it's not that hard just to say, hey, I want to go here. Just make it happen. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. So you think he was in the right, she was a little bit over dramatic.
Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
All right, Erica, next. What are your thoughts?
I agree with D. I feel like she definitely was tripping, and it was a classic case of miscommunication. Like, I couldn't see her part of him. I guess she's one of those females that kind of like effort. She kind of wants him to chase her, do a little bit more. But like the initial guy said, in her receipts, he did reach out. He did try to correspond with her. And she just wasn't satisfied. And it seems like she just not being herself. Like she doesn't really like him. That's the vibes I'm getting from the messages.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, Courtney.
I agree with the other lady. Like she was just doing too much. Like if she really liked him, I think he did enough to get another chance to see her. Like she was just too adamant on he didn't like keep her engaged in the conversation, I guess. Because he talked to her. He was talking to her the day before and she just didn't reply. Like she didn't understand, so she didn't reply. So that's on her as far as why the conversation didn't continue to go. I'm sure he would have gave her a reservation or something. He could have just been waiting on her to reply. So that's on her that why they didn't finish the conversation.
All right, cool. So the general consensus is that the guy didn't really do anything wrong, and the woman was a little bit over dramatic, right? All right. So, question for you, ladies: based on that whole texting interactions, how many of you would have went on that date?
I would have. Knowing me, I would have been texting him the next morning, like, what time we meeting up, or like, are we still meeting up, or something like check in. Like that's just me. Like if it would have been a few days and I wouldn't heard from him, then I wouldn't have been the one to say something. But like just because we were just talking the night before, I'd be like, hey, so what time we meeting? Like where, are we still on for tonight? Right, that's just me though.
So, all right. So, how many of you would have went on a date if a guy was like, if a guy asked you to pick the location?
I would have went.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I've
I'm in there.
been on a couple dates before I had to pick the location.
As the second date, you pick the location?
Yeah. Now, if I'm picking every location for every date, then I'm gonna get a little dried out. But
Right.
I don't mind picking the location for the date.
No,
I don't think it's a
Okay.
big deal.
No, it's not. It's not that real.
It, like on paper, it's not a big deal. Like when you're looking at it from, I guess, like a by the book, like how a guy should approach a woman, it sounds really good, right? But in my opinion, in my experience, the dates that are most successful is when the guy takes the initiative to just plan everything and the woman just shows up, right? Me personally, I wouldn't even ask input from a woman for the first 2 dates. Like the first 2 dates, she doesn't have to worry about anything. Like it's going to get paid by me. I'm going to pick the place. I'm going to plan the place. I'm going to pick the time. Everything's going to get planned by me. And I think that's going to work best because you don't really know each other. You don't really know each other's vibe yet. What they're into. You're still in that phase of just getting to know each other. So you taking the initiative as a man just shows that you're ready to be more of a leader when it comes to certain things. Plus, it gives you that balance of now you have the power to pick the budget of what you can afford because you're picking the place, right? You also get to plan the time, so you get to work it around your schedule. And she just shows up. She doesn't have to worry that much. She could just show up and just be ready to be herself. I think when you start getting a lot of input, then that puts the woman more in a masculine leadership role where she now has to think about the planning, the prices, and she has to consider all these other factors. And as a guy, you just want to avoid all that. What are your thoughts?
I can see that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It definitely shows more initiative, and I think it kind of shows a dominant. Because I can say that I, in today's society, am like a dominant woman. So when a man plans the date and he has like all the plans, I kind of sit back and be like,
Yeah, like it's a relief.
maybe I can finally be a princess for once.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a relief. It definitely is a relief because usually guys are usually what you want to do, what you like to do,
Yeah.
and it gets boring. Like it's always what do I want to do? Why can't you take the initiative and plan something? Why is it always? Because once you realize you don't plan the whole thing, it's like what do you want to eat? What do you want to do? It's like I don't plan this whole thing. I could have just did this myself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah. Have you guys ever? Well, all right. What are some things guys get wrong about planning the first date? Like, say you were interested in a guy, he tried to plan the first date with you, but it never actually went anywhere. What do you think he did wrong, or what did he do wrong?
Not being himself.
Now
That's
what?
not being himself. Like trying to be a nice guy, who's really not the nice guy. Like you can always tell when somebody's portraying to be somebody that they're not. You can always
So he faked being the nice guy.
yeah, like I don't know how to really explain it. Like just being like I don't know the
If his
word.
actions are over the top,
Like
Yeah,
trying
like
to pressure you.
over like oh, you just so pretty, like overdoing it. Like it's okay to compliment and like we have nice gestures, but it's like it's weird when it's overly done. It's like you're
Yeah.
trying to, I don't know, like trying to show like I'm a nice guy, like if that makes sense.
Like love bombing.
Yeah, like I don't know, it just be too much sometimes. Like if that's not really like if you really do that all the time, that's kind of creepy. But if that's not what you really do and you're really doing that, like don't do that.
So not being genuine, just like trying to be too hard to please you.
Yeah,
I can see that.
yeah.
What about you, Erica?
I would say one of my biggest turn off with a man planning a date is the amount of effort he puts in a date. I'm one of the women that little things matter to me. Like we don't have to go to like the big expensive restaurant or like the best. You don't have to spend too much, but also know that I'm what I'm worth. Like and also like kind of to piggyback on the video we just saw, like about how she was feeling like the guy didn't put enough effort in, like communicating and stuff. I'm one of them people too. Now he actually did a good job in my opinion. Like, he did okay, but if we plan something and then like I don't really hear from you like a couple days before, or like you trying to ghost, I'm just like a mirror. So if you ghost me, I'm gonna ghost you, and then I just get turned off, and I just feel as though you're not putting enough effort in. So yeah, effort is a big thing for me.
So, all right, two things about that, right? The first thing I want to touch on is the fact that you said that he didn't put enough effort in. Now, if a guy hits you up the day before that you guys were supposed to make plans, and he hits you up with, oh, does 2 p.m. work? Would you say that's okay, or that's kind of like a hit or miss?
No, if he hits me up the day before, that's okay, because now I know I got at least 24 hours. The next day, 2 p.m. I had plans, but
No,
I
it's the
still
night. It's the night of. So the morning of, y'all are supposed to go out, but it's the night. He texts you in the night, saying like 2 p.m. Is 2 p.m. good?
like after the date.
Yeah. Basically, you don't get a full 24 hours.
As long as I have enough time, and as long like I am a spontaneous person, but I also do like to have like some time to prepare. So as long as I just have enough time and you're not just winging it, all because you're bored and want to see me, like it depends, I guess.
Okay, so you sound like a simple dater.
I would say it's, like I said, the little things matter to me. It's not about, you know what, I will say it is simple. Because I think simple just makes life better. I think humans complicate way too much, and it really do not have to be like that.
Okay, all right. Next question for you was you say you don't like expensive dates, right?
No, I didn't say that.
And we can ask this question around the board as well, right? No, you said no expensive dates, right?
I ain't say that, no.
you said it doesn't have to be.
I
an
said it doesn't
expensive
have
date.
to be expensive.
Doesn't have to be expensive.
Like
Okay.
I'm like, you know how everybody had the Cheesecake Factory debate. Like you could take me to Cheesecake Factory. I won't complain. But don't think that every date is going to be a Cheesecake Factory date. Right? I like to be on different types of dates, I would say. So not all of them have to be luxurious, but like I'm like a walk in the park type of girl. We can have a picnic, but I also
Wait, hold on. Is the consensus that Cheesecake Factory is considered a cheap date? Is that like the general consensus?
I didn't think so. I don't think
No?
it's
Okay.
like a high end, but I don't.
It's an economical date.
Yeah,
The Cheesecake Factory is an
Yeah.
economical date.
It's a sensible economical
yeah,
date.
sensible. That was
I
a
didn't
good
care.
one.
No, I didn't really get into that.
Okay, wait, hold on. How many ladies here would be okay with dating a man if the first date was at McDonald's?
Oh, not me. I don't even eat the McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's. I do draw the line
I
somewhere.
wouldn't do a fast food. I wouldn't do a fast food first date. I'm sorry.
I do know my
So
work.
then price does matter to a certain degree, right?
No, quality matters.
Quality, man.
Quality, like I like Chipotle. We can go to Chipotle.
Yeah,
That's
I would do it first day at Chipotle, especially
like
because
that's
I'm a pescatarian.
not the price, it's the quality. Like Chipotle is cool. Like McDonald's, come on now.
That's not real food.
Right, that ain't even no real food.
Let's be honest.
All right, so it's quality. So you guys would do Chipotle over McDonald's, but essentially it goes back to quality.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. That's not bad.
He was ready to hit the cap button on us, y'all.
Yeah.
You saved us.
And
That was
turn on the trigger.
Yeah, you said no expensive days. I don't believe that. Okay, so going back to
Flower, you can still give a luxurious experience with Chipotle or Olive Garden, Longhorn. You can still give luxury experiences and have flowers ready for you, get a card.
I was about to say it has to be more than just
Like
fast food.
you can spice it up. It don't have to be no Alexander Steakhouse, no boo, none of that. It ain't gotta be all that. Just give a nice experience for her to remember. For her to go tell her friends, girl, he did this, he
Get the
did
group
that.
chat.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't give us nothing bad to talk to you about you in the group chat. Don't do that. Like make it an experience for her.
now. Hold on. Flowers on the first date does not work.
Why not?
That
How many
depends.
ladies actually got flowers? How many ladies got flowers on the first date?
I have first date,
I
not
love
first
flowers.
date.
Okay, for the ones who did, right? What were your first? All right, first, did that actually? Are you with that guy now?
No.
So D, you're not with him. Erica, are you with that guy now?
I wouldn't say flowers on the first date, but he buys me flowers all the time, yeah. But no, the guy who did flowers.
But the guy who got you flowers on the first date, are you with him now?
No.
You're not. Okay, great. Thank you. Flowers on the first date does not work because
No. Go ahead.
you're essentially pedestalizing that woman when she hasn't earned it. You're already paying for the date. You're already planning the date, right? So flowers on the first date, you're not there yet. You know, you're just not there, and
Agree on that one.
it's proven by your experience. You're not with the guy who brought you flowers on the first date.
How do you know
Okay,
something
but
didn't happen
we're
after
trying
that?
to win me over so that maybe we can get to that point, right? Is that not the point of us dating?
On paper, that is the point. When you could do that, and I would say probably like in the 50s, back in the day, you probably could give flowers. You probably could give her flowers on the first date, and it actually means something. But nowadays,
They have different color flowers for different reasons. So if you really want to take it there, if somebody wanted to give flowers like that,
we're not taking it there at all. No guy should be doing flowers on the first date. Definitely not.
So we're
Maybe
doing
second-
that's a personal preference, though. That's a personal preference.
Wait, one at a time. Say again.
I said, what did I say? When do the flowers come in? If not the first date, when do they come in?
Hey, that's a good question. That depends on you. That depends on what type of value you're adding to that guy's life for him to reciprocate with flowers.
So if he don't give,
But-
we go on a date and he's not giving me flowers, so don't cancel him. Is what you're saying? Just because he didn't give me flowers the first day, don't cancel him. Everything else.
You shouldn't even be expecting flowers. The first date initially is just to get to know that person.
We're just girls. We want flowers on the first day. Why don't y'all understand that?
because you didn't earn the flowers on the first date, right? We're getting to know each other. The first date essentially is a date where you can leave without losing any value, and he can leave without losing too much of
Now
his
that's
resources.
deep. That's deep.
Flowers.
So my time is not valuable.
His time should be more valuable because he took time out to plan the date.
Oh, here
He
we
picked the
go.
restaurant,
We got
and he's paying
alpha
for
male
it.
there, I guess.
And he's paying. You think, all right, so you think your time is more valuable than the guy that took time out of his day to plan the date and initiate the date for you?
No, the time value is equal at that point.
It's not. It's not, though. It's cap. It's not equal. No. You just have to show up. That's all literally all you have to do on the first day is just show up. The guy's taking all the risk.
Give me a list of the risks that the guy take, other than spending, other than a financial.
I mean, that's the that's the biggest risk you could take nowadays, where inflation's at like 9%.
Your
So
keyword is
I
that
mean,
guy
besides the
took risk.
besides the financial risk, okay, all right. Besides financial risk, right? All right, cool. Let's leave money out of this, right? Let's say you guys had a successful date, and now you're walking down the street. This man also has the risk to potentially protect you from any threats. If someone tries to grab your bag, someone makes a lewd comment towards you, this guy, or at least he should assert himself to a place where he has authority and protection over you, right? So even though this is the first day and you guys are still getting to know each other, there's still some level of protection that he has to provide for you in case a threat or danger happens and somebody tries to threaten you, right? He has to put his life on the line to protect you. And this is the first date. So besides the financial aspect, there's also a security aspect as well, physical aspect.
Do women not have that same risk, a security risk? We're even risking just coming out with, because you just said that we're getting to know each other on the first date. So us women are even risking our safety and our livelihood to even come out to get to know you.
You might have a hit
You
on
are
you. You don't
you
know
are
that.
without him, but like I said, the you are essentially, when you're getting to the restaurant, yes, there is a risk for you because you're without a man. But when you're leaving that restaurant and the situation was, let's say you guys are taking a walk to talk a little bit more after the date, that man has a duty to protect you, right? If someone runs up and takes your bag and your man is looking at you and you're looking at him and he's like, well, are you going to go chase him? If he asks you, are you going to go chase him? Would you see that guy again for a second date? No. How many ladies would see a guy again if your bag got stolen and the guy you went on the first date with looked at you and said, are you going to go get him? You going to go get your bag back? How many of you would go on a second date?
No, that's
No,
no
because
for
it's
me.
giving a feminine guy. That's not my type.
None. Zero. None of you. So there's a level of duty that a guy has to uphold and risk, right? He could go run and get your bag back and get punched in the eye. You know, something else could happen to him. But there's a level of duty that guys have to uphold when we want to ask you out.
Okay.
All right, you guys agree with that? No?
Yeah.
I can see your point. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I
So
still
who do you think is
that
taking more risk now? You still think you're taking more risk?
it's not even a risk. The initial debate came from like the time. I feel like both of our time are equal. Like I could be doing other things, but I'm spending it with you. The same way that
It's
you
not
do
though.
other things.
The
But I
value
can
It's
see,
not.
I can
It's
see your
it's
point.
not equal.
I
How
can
is
see your
it
point
not
of view on it.
equal?
Though.
Say it one more time.
How is it not equal?
Because, all right, First, it's not equal because out of the amount of guys who approach women or ladies like yourself on a daily basis is probably enormous, right? You probably get catcalled a lot, or you get DMs, you get text messages. The guy that you choose to go on a date with, to some degree, built himself up to meet your standards of attraction, right? So right off the bat, he's not like most guys, because most guys in your DMs or who are trying to shoot their shot don't get a reply back. But this guy did. That's the first thing. Second thing is that this guy had to plan the date. He had to pick the restaurant. He had to plan time out of his schedule to pick an area where you guys can have a conversation and meet up and link in a safe area. And then on top of that, he's expected to pay for that. So all that combined, when you compare it to what you have to do on the first date, which is just show up, you literally don't have to do anything else but just be there, and you don't have to worry about anything, which is how it should be.
Like, you think
We can say that the guy's time is more valuable because he had to put in so much more work just to even get on the first date. And then if the first date doesn't go well, you could just move on to the next.
What about the time we spend getting ready for the first date? Because we most likely spend more time and money getting ready. You guys do.
There is that. You probably do spend more time, but my rebuttal to that is he probably would have took you even if you didn't spend that much time.
But I want to look good for him and for both of us. So,
But that's a choice that you made. He wants to look good for you too, but the difference is that he probably would have took you with no makeup. He probably would have took you with sweatpants or whatever on.
But that would have affected the quality of the date, though, coming from the guy.
But it's still essentially your choice. To the guy, though, if he dresses like a bum on the first date,
Then he saved money.
that's an automatic L. That's an automatic L. But women can surely dress like a bum on the first date, and he would still go for the second date. 100%.
not in today's age.
go on a
100%.
That is incorrect.
girl this week, and the one that has on sweatpants, he's gonna shoot her to the side. Cause he gonna feel like he ain't put no effort in. So that's double standard. You can't say that.
Yeah,
You know.
no.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, you can't say that.
You can say that. Women,
Men are definitely
not.
looking at the
But men,
A girl
clothes
showing
Okay.
and their quality.
Her no makeup, but that's no effort. And a man is not gonna go for that. He's like, dang, you couldn't even get cute for me. You
Yeah.
couldn't throw a little makeup, a little something on for me.
Little
No.
gloss, little something,
A
little,
little
Yeah, right.
do your hair.
little earrings, little something.
Right.
Like, so, would you continue a date with the female if she showed up fresh bonnet off her head? She just took the bonnet off her head, maybe flicked the eye booger out, and just showed up. You ready to walk in the Capitol Grill?
No.
what I'm telling you is most guys would. They do
No.
not care.
Not cute.
Most
No.
guys would.
No.
It's not in the dating.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Dating is like a competition. So the woman who showed up looking good and put herself together and took time and got herself together for this man for this date, he's gonna go for her, whether she's the better choice or not. He put herself together.
So wait, you guys truly believe men really care about the eyelashes, the makeup,
saying all
the
that. I'm not saying
weaves?
the
You truly
extra.
think we care about that?
A
I'm
well
not
we're not-
I'm saying put in the effort for the first date.
What I'm saying is yes, put in effort, but she said the amount of time is going to be considerably longer than men, which is true, but we don't ask for that much.
And it could be just a bare
Even
minimum.
if you took half the time to get ready, it still wouldn't make much of a difference to us. We would still want to see you again. That's what I'm saying. But on the other hand, if you have a guy who didn't put any effort into dressing up, right, and he didn't take the full amount of time to plan that out and to plan out how long it was going to take for him to get ready and look appropriate for the date, then it would be a loss for him because nobody's going to take a guy dressing like a bum.
I don't
But the guy
Where
wouldn't
it's
take
more
my
likely that a
dress.
man would take a woman who does dress like a bum.
No.
Mm-mm. I don't
No.
think any real king, like any real man, is going to allow his woman to look like a bum. That's just like my. I
In
think
public.
like a desperate man maybe wouldn't care what type of woman or quality of woman he had, but like a real man, in my definition, he cares what a woman looks like and what she has on.
Of course, we do care what the woman looks like, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that's not going to stop us from. And I guess I got to put it in blatant terms, but that's not going to stop us from sleeping with you, okay?
And that was my
On the
next.
first date.
I about to say most likely
So
it's
that was
because he wants to hit. Like if that's the.
Right. Well, that's essentially what I'm going to try to get to is that's not going to stop most men from sleeping with you.
oh well that I
When
don't think that's
if you
what any
flip
of
it
us
on the
are.
reverse, that would stop if you flip it on the reverse, that would stop most women from sleeping with the guy if he didn't dress appropriately. It's just not the same.
I don't think women, now granted, women do think about carnal things, but I think initially when we go on a date with a guy, I could just be speaking for self. I don't think we think so carnal about it. Now we may say, he may be able to get it, but I don't think that we go into it thinking like we're gonna get this dick at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we think more of into the future, which could be the downfall for a lot of us. But I think we're thinking past the pain in that aspect. Now, for y'all who are carnal in nature, um, yeah, y'all gonna be
That's
thinking
every
about
man.
smashing. Yeah, y'all gonna be thinking about smashing, but that's not the wavelength that we're on. So that right there was just miscommunication altogether. So maybe if you would have led with that, not saying that the conversation started off wrong, but if you would have led with that, maybe we could have had, you know, more better answers to that.
That leads into a very good point and a question I've been wanting to ask for a while now. How many dates do you think is appropriate before you become intimate with that man that you're dating?
I don't even count. Like I just go by vibes, energy.
All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Before we do this, let's
I
start with
can't
Courtney
say,
first. What's your answer?
I can't count how many times before we go there. Like it's just energy and vibes. Like I don't. Okay, this is our third time going on a date. Like, hey, you gave me the buzzer.
I gave you the buzzer
That's
because
fine.
vibes is not a quantifiable number. Vibes could be 5 dates. It could be 10 dates. It could be. Can that be the first date?
What?
If you're going just purely based on vibes, does that mean that you would sleep with the guy on the first date if the vibes were good enough?
I'm just no, not the first date.
Not the first date.
No.
Erica.
I kind of agree with Courtney. I'm not going to sit here and put a number on the date. It's not right. It feels
For
like it's
real.
just like putting somebody on a 90-day rule. It's just like
Yeah,
it's not
right.
really normal to really do that.
For me, anyway, that's
Are
crazy.
you saying vibes as well?
I'm not saying. I guess you can say vibes, but I would say when I realize that the guy is worth my body, my essence, my time. I don't know how many days that's going to take, but when I decide that it's worth it, but it's definitely, you know, effort, time. But I can't put like,
Okay.
oh, it's going to take 50 amount of dates, or it's like not. I
That's
feel like
just
that's
like
childish to think
a
about.
90-day rule or something.
All right, Erica. Question for you. Based on vibes, would you be willing to sleep with the guy on the first date if the vibes were?
No, I'm not going to sit here and act like. Let's finish. I'm not going to sit here and act like it hasn't happened before, and I'm still in a relationship from that. But would that be ideally? No, I would not. I would rather wait and get to know the person more. then
Stop the cap.
All right. Okay. What about you, D? Are you saying, please, can I get a quantifiable number?
You're not even going to get a number. I don't go off by vibes, but I'm not going to spread these thighs for nobody unless we are actually in a committed relationship. That's just me. So you can take me on all the
You
dates you
said a
want.
relationship?
Yeah, so I'm a relationship. I need to be in a relationship, a committed, monogamous relationship until I sleep with somebody. That's just me personally. I don't got time to be jumping in and out of people's bed just because I'm feeling you this day or you made me feel good this day. That's just me personally.
Okay. Question for you,
So
and this
thank
is
you.
a serious question. Like I'm really being serious here and intentional. Has that been the case with every guy that you've been with?
When I'll say with every guy that I've been, that I have slept with, have I been in a relationship with?
Has that been the case where you did not sleep with them
I was in a relationship?
unless you were in a relationship with them?
Oh,
That means
absolutely.
so every guy you've been with, they were willing to make you a girlfriend without knowing how it was going to be with you.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead, hit the button.
Stop the cap.
Okay,
No, I don't believe that.
that's fine. That is okay.
How did you pull that off? Like what and how many dates were they like, okay, I want to make you my girlfriend?
I would say the shortest time that I've been somebody's girlfriend was about maybe between 2 and 3 months. So 2 and 3 months time span. So we may have gone on a date like every other week or something like that. And then they're like, you know what? I want
Two or
to.
three months. Wait, 2 or 3 months was the shortest?
Yeah, what was the shortest?
What was the longest you ever made a guy wait?
I mean, that I made a guy wait on me. Let's be clear that I made a guy wait on me because Lord knows what they may have been doing with other people. But I say the
Okay.
longest was probably about the 5 or 6 month mark that a guy waited on me. Now to be
That doesn't
realistic,
sound crazy to you?
no, because it's not like they probably weren't getting it from somewhere. So you're not going without. I'm pretty sure. Realistically, I know that man is not going without.
Okay, and all right, so you're 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're still dating this way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found that to be challenging?
It does get challenging, because I'm not gonna say that I don't want it when I want it and who I want it from, because I know there's some good peen out there that I can go back to when I want to. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. It's not. I'd rather wait
But
on what's good.
besides that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The age range of guys that you're dating, are they typically over 36?
No, I get hit on by a lot of younger guys.
No,
I
not
get
the guys that hit on you, the guys that you're interested in.
the guys that yeah. So the youngest guy that I have been interested in, he was 28. That was a couple years ago. He's like 30 now. Um, that's somebody that I'm interested in. So the age range that I may be interested in between 25 and maybe 42. That's about the age range of people that I have been interested in. I'm hesitant on the younger guys, but anybody between 30 and 40, yeah.
And is your goal to be married at some point?
At some point, I would like to be married.
Okay. And because, and I want to be frank here, and I want to be real. I want to be real with you.
No holds barred. Go
Because
ahead,
I'm
tell
in
me
my
what you
30s,
feel. Mm-hmm.
and I've dealt with older women as well, and have a lot of experience dating.
You said you don't like, what was that last words? I'm
I said
sorry.
I've dated older women as well, and I have a lot of experience dating.
Okay, okay.
Essentially, what you're doing is the 90-day rule on most guys, and the only thing you're not restricting them by is that they get to have sex outside of you while they're still dating, right? But then you're basically asking for monogamy before you're intimate. I just don't see that working out very well because most guys don't operate from that type of standpoint, and they're not truly going to see it. They're not truly going to see the value in it. Is what I want to get to,
I
right?
think that's a by person preference.
Because
Like,
where as you've gotten okay, let me ask you this now. This is kind of making me see your mindset a little bit better. Do you think your value has gotten better or has increased as you've gotten older, or has it
I would
decreased?
say I would say increase on my personal awareness, my awareness of self, knowing what my triggers is, have I, healing from my past trauma, um, learning
No,
more.
just your value in terms of what men seek for in marriage.
The only thing that I lack is a flat stomach. So if anybody is looking for in marriage, I feel like I could definitely offer what somebody is looking for, what a man is looking for in marriage.
But essentially, you think your value increased as you've gotten older.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is for a question for all the ladies on the panel. How many ladies here think that as a woman gets older, her value will increase to
It
men?
should.
Wait, not that it should, just how many think it does increase to men who are dating? We could start with Erica.
I'm sorry. I thought it was only for the older women.
No.
Shots
We're gonna
fired.
ask you. We're gonna go around on this too. Do you think your value will
No,
increase as you get older?
I'm sorry. I promise it wasn't no shot.
I'm joking. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead.
Do you
Actually,
think your value will increase as you get older?
I think it does because I become more knowledgeable. I become more. I get
To
more.
men.
Yeah, it matters to men. Intelligence. So, like I said, I become more knowledgeable, more intelligent, more wise, and more experienced. So, I think your value does go up as you age. Just like they say with wine, age like fine wine.
Women age like wine. Is that what they say?
I feel like black women do, yes. No shade to the other ones, but I think
Okay. Courtney, what's your thoughts?
To men, I don't think so. From women to women, I think they do. But from a man's view, I don't think they think women are more valuable. I feel like they just think like a young girl could do everything better. So that's why they would prefer that when that's really not the case. Because a more age woman, she knows more. She's experienced. She can think better. She's not just focused on the small things that the young girls think about. Like she's more focused.
She can guide and nurture better.
Yeah, like a young girl can do all that. So a man thinking, oh, she's younger, she's better, she can do this or that. Mm,
Oh,
sorry, I love you too. But a woman, an aged woman, I think is more valuable. But I don't think a man thinks like that.
Okay, great point. I like that. You said to men it doesn't really work that way, but for women, you think it kind of like that's how it should be.
We're more
Pretty much.
more age woman is more valuable. Yes, I do, but I don't think that a man thinks like that.
Good point. Okay, next question. I want to ask the ladies here. What age range do you think is a woman's prime? Like when she's the most valuable to other men? When most men are going to reach out to her and going to be willing to be with her the most? What age range do you think that is? When a woman is at her prime and she's the most valuable to
I can
most
speak
men?
to that now. I'm dealing with that right now.
Let's start with D first. We're gonna go around the other side now. D, when do you think that age range is?
I can't I can't give an age range because I feel like the older I
You got to
get,
give an age range. We need an age range. When a woman is
what?
the most valuable, when she's the most attractive to men.
Attractive. So you're talking about attractiveness. Okay, so the most attractive, I'll say anywhere between 20 and 25. If
20 and
we're gonna go
25.
by that, between 20 and 25.
Okay, great. Erica, what do you think it is?
I'm gonna go with 22 to 35.
22 to 35. All right. Lessen it a little bit more. Let's do 5 years. Which,
All right, 5 years. I'll do 22 to 27 then.
22 to 27. Okay.
No,
And Courtney, what do you?
I take it back. 23 to 28. Right out of college.
Okay, right out of college. All right.
I'm a PhD.
Courtney, what do you think it is?
I'm gonna say 28 to 30, 36-ish.
What? 28 to 36. That's when she's most attractive to most men?
I'm
Okay.
speaking from my experience and the people around me, from what I see. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm just speaking
You
from
think
my.
that's so
Yes.
you don't think the younger version of yourself was more attractive?
Nah.
Okay.
Looks
all right.
wise. Looks wise.
We're talking about like
He's talking
based on what
purely
men
about
find
looks.
attractive.
See, right now it's good. 20, 26.
All right.
I have my
All right, let's flip it.
I know I do my makeup
Let's
right
flip
now.
it now. Hold on.
Like,
What
she's
age
not-
range do you think, and we're gonna start with Courtney on this. What age range do you think men are most attractive to women? We're not just talking about looks here, because we know women don't just look for looks and attract and physique in men. But when do you think most men are most attractive to most women?
I would say like 20.
Can you give me a range?
28 to 32. I'm sticking with that. 28 to 32-ish. That's my range.
28 to 32-ish?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what about you, Erica?
I still feel the same, just like maybe a little younger. I'll go 21 and 25.
21 to 25 is when you think most men would not just looks, we're talking, because you don't just look for looks and physique. We're talking about economically attractive.
Okay. I thought you were just referring to looks just now. Overall, I would have to say 25 to 30.
Okay, so near his 30s. Okay, cool. What about you, D?
I say between 30 and 46. Not 40,
Okay.
yeah. 30 and 46, yeah.
All right. Do you guys see the hypocrisy?
You can't do that because you asked two different questions.
I can do
knew you
that.
were
I
going
can
there.
do that.
You asked two different questions. You
I
based
can do
it
that,
on
though.
the looks
And let me
for the
point it
females,
out.
and then you based it on the whole complete package for the guys. You cannot do that. I mean, you could do that because this is your show, but if you're going to ask the question, ask the same question.
The reason why it'll never be the same is because men and women look for different things in each other, right? And you guys got it right. The age range for women it's actually a little bit younger than what you guys said. You guys think it's the mid-20s to early. It's kind of like mid-20s to early 30s. For the most part, the most attractive age range when you're gonna have the most value and the most likelihood to be married by the guy that you want is gonna be 18 to 24. All right, for women, right? And for men, when you flip that, men are most attractive to women when they reach the ages of 35 to 45. Why? Because that's when most men hit their financial stride. That's when they built up the experience with women, they built up the confidence, and they built up the know-how on how to make it in life. And the ones who reach to that age and that 35 to 45 in life, they're going to be somewhat successful in what they do, and they're going to be a professional or have some type of monetizable skill set. So when you break it down, right, a guy at his prime, and then you have a woman at her prime, why is it that you think that as a woman gets older and more out of her prime, a guy who is entering his prime would be more attracted to that woman?
Make up for lost time.
Settling.
To make up for lost time?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes,
No, I genuinely want to get your thoughts. Why you think a guy who's in his prime would want a woman who is in the same age range as himself, but not in her prime? Wouldn't it make sense that a guy in his prime or entering his prime in his 30s would want a woman who is now entering her prime?
I would
in the
think
same age?
Guys don't, I mean, we don't necessarily have to date in our age range. This is why you see the most successful men of the world, Jeff Bezos, Leonardo DiCaprio, Shaq. They date younger women. They're not dating women in their own age range. These guys are in their 40s, their 50s, and they're not dating women who are in their 40s and 50s.
But Shaq married somebody in his age range. And so did Jeff Bezos. His wife was in his age range.
Yeah, but then they split up, and now they're dating much younger women.
Leonardo DiCaprio, every time the female reaches a certain age, he gets a new one.
25.
So,
Exactly.
so what are we saying here? He just keeps recycling. What is the success behind
but
that?
this is the point I'm trying to show you. There's a reason
That
for that.
still
Your value doesn't increase as you get older as a woman. So that line, whatever guy told Erica that women age like wine, he got it a little bit wrong.
nobody told me that.
Men age like wine. On the contrary, men age like wine because as we get older, we built up the experience on how to deal with women. We built up the know-how on how to make money and just how to be successful in life. We built up the status to just figure out who we are. Women, on the other hand, while you do get a lot of experience with men, that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Men don't actually want women with a lot of experience with different types of men. We'd rather someone who's kind of fresh and just doesn't have a lot of trauma, because all that experience with men, all those different experiences could lead to a whole bunch of different types of traumas that now that guy's going to have to face when he wants a relationship with you.
It could, but what about when that young female gets with that older guy who, like I said, now all of a sudden they want to date the younger girl for making up with lost time because they didn't have the funds to sponsor the woman that they wanted. So now that they reached this prime and can get that woman, so what about that trauma? Oh, I got the girl that I wanted now, and I'm gonna do her any way that I want to.
How is that trauma? He's hit the
That is
financial
trauma.
stride that he can now afford the younger woman that he now wants.
And then dog walk the ish out of her. You see what I'm
No.
saying? So that's a
Okay,
trauma. If you want to talk about the potential
that's a
traumas that
that's a
a woman can
fallacy.
have, that's the potential traumas that an older man can have with a younger female, is it not?
That's a fallacy. Most guys don't leave most women in relationships. When you look at the divorce rates, 70% of women initiate the divorce. I mean, we could go around real quick. How many women here have actually gotten broken up with the man? Has had a man leave them in the relationship? One. So 1 out of 3. Men don't leave women like that. We're not the ones leaving the relationship. That's just the reality of it. So what? So like you're talking about how the guy built up this level of success to kind of do whatever he wants with this woman and then dump and leave her, but the stats show that most men aren't leaving these relationships.
That don't have anything to do with the treatment while in the relationship or the success of it.
The treatment. Okay, so you're going back to, you think it's kind of like grooming, I want to say, where these guys are preying on these younger women?
No, not necessarily grooming. I'm just saying, like I said, the guy who reached his prime can reach back and get the younger girl and can still have different types of traumas on how he think a man should act, what he think a man should do, how he should think he should, govern his household and things like that, and can be just dogging that young chick out. And then that's where the trauma for the female can come in. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And the perfect
I
example
kind
of
of see
that, yeah. And I'm
I
sorry, I
see
didn't
the
mean to
point.
cut
I
you
see the
loose.
point you're trying to make,
Yeah.
but that's very few men. But the reality and the point of the situation of the topic that we were talking about is that most men get valuable as they get older. Most women do not get. I would say, okay, all women don't get valuable as they get older because the things that men look for in women are going to be totally different than what you look for in men. And to bring this all back, this goes to how you're dating right now, and the mindset that you have is that you think that you've gotten more valuable as you've gotten older, but dating is going to be more of a challenge for you because most men that you're dating don't see it that way.
Well, dating is a challenge as it is. So
Right, but you're making it more. You're making it more of a challenge.
because I'm not sleeping in between.
No, I'm not saying to sleep around, but I'm saying that you could be more intentional with who you sleep with, but the process of you waiting for a relationship to be intimate with someone is just kind of a stretch.
Okay.
All right. But
I need a button. I'm messing. Go ahead.
do you guys have any questions for me before we wrap this up? Anything that I've talked about? Anything that you disagree with, don't disagree with?
I agree to disagree until men and women just realize that we need each other, period. I don't think the age thing should be a big deal as long as each party is legal marrying age. I don't think there should be a double standard. I mean, because the times are changing so much, we just need each other, period. It shouldn't be a man versus woman thing. It shouldn't be a masculine versus feminine thing, unless you're trying to go the traditional route. I just feel like men and women in general need better communication, need to communicate better with each other.
That is true. And it's not a man versus woman thing. This isn't a competition, but there has to be some sense of reality. And there has to be some truth being told. A lot of times, and this comes from just a lot of the experiences I heard from all the ladies here, a lot of men have been lying to women for a very long time, and we've been telling you that we're equal to each other. That that you need us the same way that men need women the same way that women need men, and that's just not true. That point is just not true.
The needs are different. So I can agree with that.
The needs are different, but women need men way more than men need women.
We need each other. That shouldn't be imbalanced.
Yeah.
That should not be imbalanced. That should be balanced. Because
But
what's
that's
the
the thing.
equally
You
yoked
you
part?
have you have to see that you need a man more than the
Oh, I
man
know
needs
I need
you.
a man. I would never deny that. I
Right.
need a man in my household, period. You know what I'm saying? I want and need.
Yeah.
I'm
But
not debating that.
why?
But if you saw that, no. But this is the whole thing. If you saw that, you would have taken different steps to prioritize that you have that now.
No, because I can get anybody to come up in here. The reason why
No, but you
anybody
can't
ain't
get a
in
man
here,
that you truly value and desire and respect is the difference. Yeah, you can bring any bum into your house, sure. But the difference is that you want a man that you truly value and respect and desire. That's the difference.
that does the same for me as well. That street has to be two ways. Because I can't see you being with a woman that you didn't respect or that you
Of
didn't
course.
value or you didn't desire. So I feel like that's a two-way street.
Right. But me finding, okay. The difference is going to be this, though. My value will increase as I get older. Yours won't. And this is the main difference, is that women, unfortunately, you have a biological time clock that you need to adhere to. Men don't necessarily have to follow the same rules. So our timeline is going to be totally different. And that's when everything comes into play. That's when everything comes full circle. Is that when you understand you're not on the same timeline as a man is. Man hits his financial stride in his prime 35 to 45. Women are essentially in the prime from 18 to 24. Two different timelines.
As far as functionality, you're doing functionality
As far as
of a woman.
attractiveness to the other gender, this is why I said our needs are different. And this is why I said that women need men a lot more than men need women.
And that's the narrative that needs to stop. So I'm going to agree and disagree with you. Agree to disagree with you on that one. But I feel
Okay.
what you're saying though. But that as far as for me, I'm gonna agree to disagree. I still rock with
But
you.
you get it a little bit. All right.
I get what you're saying. Yes, the 1 + 1 is equaling 2 over here. So, but
Okay.
yeah, but I agree.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to ask me before we wrap this up? Any other conversations, topics we want to get into?
I did want to ask, how many dates would you think was appropriate before a woman gives it up to you?
Oh, simple. That's a simple question. It needs to happen by the third date. Why? Is because it sets the tone for intentionality, right? It sets the tone that you're serious about taking this into a relationship, and I'm serious about investing into you more. Because the dates are just one part of the investment. But after that, you want to invest more into this woman, and you want to be able to be a little bit more vulnerable with her. And unfortunately for a lot of guys, the first step to doing that is through intimacy, right? And if you have a woman who's just constantly making you wait 90 days, you're going to start to think that should be like a general thing when you're in dating, is that you should be waiting that long, when it's not. If you're dating someone who's intentional and serious about being with you, intimacy and attraction is going to happen like that. So if it doesn't, and I say the third date because the third date gives women enough time to kind of make that choice. First date, we got to know each other. Second date, by the second date, you should at least know if you want to sleep with me or not. Because if you don't want to sleep with me by the second date, why are we even continuing this, right? Why is there a third date if you have no physical attraction for me by the second date? If you see this not progressing towards an intimate relationship, why is there a need for a third date? So it just sets a tone for intentionality and just a level of seriousness that most guys are going to be looking for.
Okay.
Do you agree with that, or you think 3 dates is too soon?
I'm gonna agree to disagree. It all depends also like the time between the dates. Cause like prime example, like I'm a mother, so it kind of like my dating is kind of versatile. It's not really consistent because I have to make arrangements. So our first date could be within like the first week, and then let's say our second date is not like until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So it's unfortunate like that.
But I mean, even for all the single mothers out there who are dating, right? Your schedule is going to be a lot harder to deal with, but that sets the tone for the guy to be more intentional with the date, and you should already take that as, as a level of like, I shouldn't play around with this guy. If he's taking the time out to plan all these dates and planning around your schedule, not just his schedule anymore, he has to plan around your schedule. Then I don't know. I think that shows a level of seriousness that he's ready to take you serious as well. So why make him wait more than 3 days?
It's not necessarily the waiting. It's if the schedule does not allow it, then that's what it is. It's not that I'm gonna make him wait. No, if you really don't have time to get him in within those couple weeks, and he's not understanding that, then he just maybe not be the one.
Yeah.
But I'm saying by the third date. So I'm not saying whenever the third date happens, it happens, right? That goes based off both of your schedules, right? Mm-hmm. But whenever that does happen, let's say that it takes 2 months. Say it takes 2 months for you to get to the third date. Is it so unrealistic for you to be like, yeah, you know what? I actually do like this guy, and I do want to take it there. Is that too much?
It's not unrealistic, but I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or just because I'm starting to love myself and know my worth more. 2 months in today's day and age is not enough time because I don't know. I'm getting older and I'm realizing it's not enough time to give your body away. It's like you need 2 months is not enough time to know somebody's values, really know them, really know their dark side, really know them to let them inside of you.
So if you met the man of your dreams, right?
The man of my dreams.
Let's say tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow. There's a potential that you would make him wait more than 3 months.
I'm not saying that because I told you I don't want to put like time limits on things, but I'm just saying if that was the man of my dreams, patience shouldn't be a problem for him. So he wouldn't mind waiting 3 months to get me. The last guy he waited more than 3 months, and I respected him and loved him more for waiting because I wasn't.
Is this the guy that you're in a complicated relationship status with?
No, this was my ex guy.
So you're not even with this guy anymore?
Unfortunately, no. He wanted a poly relationship. I didn't want that, so we had to go our separate ways.
Okay, and I go back to saying intention, right? Like guys who are serious and intentional and know what they want. We're talking about a guy who's in his prime. Yeah. Most of these guys don't. There's no reason for them to wait that long, right? We're talking about a successful guy who has experience with women, I don't want to say this term,
Like,
but shout out to
he
Kevin
can
Samuels.
still have
A
sex with other
high value
people.
guy. Let's say you have a high value man in front of you. You really think you're gonna make him wait 2-3 months, whatever it is, and him just not be willing to let you go?
If he's willing to let me go, then that's on him. Like, my boundary is my boundary. It's what I.
And this is why I say, like, we need to start being a little bit more honest. These conversations need to be had because men aren't as honest. If you meet a high value guy and he's willing to take you seriously, especially you being a single mom and, you know, getting closer to 30. Yes, you're 27 now, right? But you're getting closer to 30. If you meet a high value guy and he's willing to take you serious, there's no reason why you shouldn't jump on that opportunity.
So there's no reason why he shouldn't put the commitment out there, right? Right?
What do you mean? He is putting the commitment out there. If he's taking the time out to date you, go around your busy schedule, he is taking the time out.
So then the conversation would be like, we can move on to a committed relationship. Bam, you can get these thighs all day. So what we talking about?
Committed before intimacy?
Yeah, because if I met the man of my dreams,
Not
the
this
man
again.
is high value, he's valuing me, he's checking the block like you just laid out. Then, hey, check this out, Didi. We in this. We locked.
I don't see.
Now, what's
I
the
truly
issue?
don't think women understand how much men have to risk by going out on dates, getting into a relationship with you, getting married to women, especially when there's a lot of. We're not talking about a guy who has nothing to lose. We're talking about a guy who has built something for himself and is actually doing something with his life. There's a lot that we have to lose. And you guys are just treating it as like, I want a relationship before you get intimate. Like, no, that's not what happens. There's a lot that goes into play and a lot that we have to risk. And that level of just being vulnerable, unfortunately, comes a lot of times with men through intimacy.
Okay, so you want to work it through your peen. I'm tracking.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I'm tracking. I'm picking up what you putting down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, but the main thing I'm trying to get to is that if you met a high value guy tomorrow and he was willing to take you serious,
then we in a relationship. What we talking about?
Leave it alone.
no, you need to understand okay, I guess I gotta say frankly, you need to understand which one is more valuable and which one is actually more rare. If you met a high value guy who meets your level of attractiveness when it comes to physique and also success, financial, and he has the confidence and the EQ, the social status to be able to talk to you and have the conversations and the communication that you like, there's no way that you think your value is on the same level as his. There's just no way that you think that.
I didn't think that was the question, but I got you.
But do you see that? Like this guy's
see the
entering his
point.
prime or in his prime, and you're not anymore. You're not in your prime anymore.
Not
All of you ladies,
anymore.
unfortunately, are out of your prime. But you're still attractive, which is why, if you did meet that high value guy, he needs to be treated as such.
Why
And
wouldn't
this is
treat him
where I
like
go
a
that it's
high-value
not
guy?
equal.
Why wouldn't I treat him like the high value guy that he is?
Because
would treat him-
you're making him wait
Oh,
for a
because he's not
relationship.
getting no yoni right away. Oh my goodness, is that what it is? Because he's not getting
Because
none right away?
he can attract the woman who's in her prime, just like Leonardo. This is what I'm always going to go back to. Leonardo has no problem attracting the women who are younger. So if you are
buying
getting a little bit older, I'm trying to be respectful. If you guys are getting a little bit older and you met that high value guy, you would need to jump on that opportunity.
I need to jump on his pin
I'm
so
gonna say,
he
so you're
knows
saying
that I
sleep
take
with
him
him
You need.
for the
I'm
opportunity.
not even saying that. I'm just saying you need to jump on the opportunity, and whichever way you show that, you show that.
But that's what you're saying. You're saying all because if we meet a guy that's in his prime and we're not in our prime, we have to kind of
Have
lower
to-
ourselves down to
Mhm.
sleep with him because he's just this almighty guy. Because I'm
Are
not in
you?
my
Are you?
prime.
You really
It's
think
just
you're
not
lowering
making sense
yourself
to me.
down by sleeping with the guy?
If I'm lowering my standards and my boundaries, all because he's a successful or stand up man,
I tell you, man.
a high value man,
high
yeah.
value, high value.
And I feel like that's kind of stooping down. Anytime you have
So,
to lower your boundaries and kind of go against what you stood on because of the type of man,
so what if we did everything else but sleep with that
but
man?
sleep with him.
Would that still count? We did everything else. We had
Everything.
99.9%.
No, because the 25-year-olds who are gonna do
First
it.
of all,
You ain't gonna do it.
I'm afraid to even ask what you guys think men want in women. I'm genuinely
No,
afraid to even ask that question.
better yet, how about you tell us?
Please
Oh
do.
my gosh,
We
I don't
want to
think you guys are
know.
gonna like my answer.
It doesn't matter
By
what
this
we like.
conversation, I don't think you guys are gonna like my answer.
It
Just
doesn't
want to
matter what we
know.
like. You giving the truth, right? I want you lay it out. No holds barred. Let's go. Let's have a conversation.
All right, all right. First, I want to get your thoughts, and we're gonna start with Courtney. Courtney, I want to get your thoughts. What are the three main things? Three main things you think men look for in women?
How much she can get away with?
Wait,
Ah,
say it.
How much she can get away with? How dumb is she? Beauty, like the physique, everything, like beauty, all things beauty, shape, all that. Um, and then how she manages, like what's she doing to make money? Like is she alone? Like does she work? Like how is she taking care of herself? Like what's her hustle? Like that, I think like that matters. Cause no man want no lead. You can
Okay.
buzz all you want to.
D.
you want me to answer? Um, what I think a man wants from a woman is if he getting laid, if he's being what nurtured or respected. I really don't even think the men care to be loved. I feel like they care more about respect than anything else. Um, and my third, hmm, can you take her out in public and not her embarrass him out in public amongst his peers? Can his status be shown in that woman? That's my three
Okay.
things.
A little right, but still wrong for the most part.
Personal preference,
What
boy.
about you, Erica?
I would say the top three. I would say loyalty is the number one. No man wants a woman that everyone want that everyone has in her head. Um, I would say beauty is definitely number two. Men are very visual creatures, so they need something appeasing to look at all times. And then I would say number three is definitely the nurture. Men are men, but they love to be taken care of and babied and just serviced. So I would say those are the top three.
Okay, no, right, a little right, but still, you had some good answers in there. All right, I'll break it down for you guys. So, and I'm surprised no one said this. I'm always surprised when women don't come back and give this answer. This should be the forefront of everything that men look for in a woman. It's gonna be feminine. She has to be feminine, right?
Maybe that's
You
the
want a guy
case.
who's
I think
masculine?
I think every woman in my mind, at least with the women that I'm dealing with, or they have a level of femininity. So I don't automatically think that you go without I'm just talking about the women in my circle. Now, granted, anybody outside of that, they may be lacking, but I think that would be a given. They should be feminine. Don't nobody want no limit soldier.
You would think, right? You would think that feminine is a given, but unfortunately, a lot of times it's not a given, right? You actually see a lot of masculine women nowadays. But besides that, right? Feminine, beauty, and inspirational. Those are going to be the three main things that guys look for when they're dating women. And feminine, of course, incorporates some of those aspects that you guys have mentioned before, the loyalty aspect, being able to take her out in public, and just her being that soft, nurturing woman that all guys want. Feminine kind of encompasses all of that. Unfortunately, a lot of women don't have all of those skills. So that's actually one of the rarer skills to find. A lot of times you'll find a woman who is masculine presenting and wants a man to bring out her feminine side.
That's too much.
But as we know, a truly feminine woman, just like a truly masculine man, will be feminine regardless of what man she's with. Beauty, on the other hand, now, we talked about the age range of when women hit their prime. It's going to be 18 to 24. After that, your beauty drops a lot, and it'll drop even more rapidly when you hit your 30s. So you're actually going to be your most attractive, and you're going to have the most amount of beauty when you're younger. So beauty encompasses youthfulness, which also means fertility, right? When you're younger, that's when you could have the most children. And that plays a lot into men who want to be married, because most times men want to get married to start a family. And the more children you can have, you'll have the most children when you're the youngest. That will increase your chances. So men look for youthfulness and beauty, fertility, all of that is going to get encompassed in one as well. Inspirational. No man wants to be with a nagging woman. No man wants to be with the woman who's a headache. No man wants to be with the woman who compares them constantly to her exes or past partners.
That's
We want
childish.
someone who's going to uplift us. And, I don't want to say be our rock, but be there for a guy in ways that women on the outside can't be. Does that kind of make sense?
But that man has to allow for that to happen.
It has to allow for what to happen.
For that woman to be everything that he wants, he has to allow that to happen. If he's still
Well, no, the age aspect will happen naturally.
well, I'm talking about the last thing you said. For her
Being
to be
inspirational?
everything, the inspirational, to be everything that that man needs, what he's looking for. He has to allow for that to happen, which means he has to resist from external forces. If he can't resist from doing that, then that woman is not going to have the chance to, fulfill her role or her duty.
Now we're not talking about the average guy here, right? So I want to bring this all back to the guy that you truly desire and want, right? We're talking about that guy. He's already everything that you wanted. If you met him today and he encompassed all of that, do you see how, what we look for is going to be a little bit different, and how that plays into how you should date?
I see what you're saying. I do. I see what you're saying.
But you're going to believe the public opinion.
No, not the public opinion. I believe what makes sense. Now, I do know that there are a lot of men who think the way that you do. I do. And I do know there's a lot of men who think the other way. So at this point, it's going to have to be what is going to work for the both of y'all. Not just these standards that has to be placed.
Okay, I digress. Courtney, you have anything to say about that?
Not really. Like, they're pretty much saying everything I agree with.
Okay. Erica, anything to say about what we look for in women?
No, makes sense.
Makes sense. You guys pretty much agree with what I said?
Yeah, but I do feel like the femininity is actually. Yeah, I guess I don't know for a man. Like, I guess men deal with more masculine women than we think about. I mean, it just comes naturally to some women.
Will all the women here say they're feminine, like by default?
I would say, yes on them, but I also do have like masculine qualities. I don't know if it's because I grew up as a tomboy and I hung out with my two brothers, but I definitely have like a lot of interest with guys. But I still do inhibit like my femininity. Like I know how to take care, know how to clean. Like a lot of women these days, I think when you hear like masculine women, they're kind of thinking they don't know how to cook, clean, things like that. I don't know if that's like kind of.
All right. What about you, D? Would you say that you're more feminine or masculine?
I have learned to code switch. Now, naturally, I am masculine presenting, but I feel like that's only because of my job, which has forced me to be more in a masculine role in order to get ahead, to get things done, and to get the mission accomplished, right? But I do know that when it comes to me dealing with a man on a personal level outside of my job, I can code switch to being feminine. I don't have an issue with that. I
It takes
prefer
Okay.
it, actually.
and it definitely takes a man to bring you out of your masculine. Um, as a woman, if a man is
I'm glad you said that.
if a
I'm
man
glad you
is
said that, Courtney.
in his feminine, then it's gonna work for a woman because a woman just naturally takes control, and then now she's in her masculine. So if a man is
Mhm.
in his feminine era or whatever he got going on, then it's not gonna work.
Right. She has to trust him to be that feminine woman.
Because
Hmm.
if she feel like you can't do your part as being the masculine man, then she's gonna take control, and that's where I feel like relationships go sideways because the woman trying to be the man, and it's imbalance.
Yeah, a
Right.
lot of struggle.
Mhm.
And I refuse to
So,
fight. So I'm going to leave before it gets any crazier.
all right. One thing. You said that it takes the right man to bring the femininity out of a woman.
Mhm.
Correct? Okay.
Right.
What if I gave you a man who said that he's feminine presenting and it takes the right woman to bring the masculinity out of him? Would you give him a chance?
Nah.
No.
No.
And then that's when
Hey,
he's
what
going to
about you?
say what you
What about
said
you,
makes
D?
no sense. See
Hmm.
you know that doesn't make sense. You know that doesn't.
It doesn't make sense, but she just said it.
Right. And I knew you was going to do that. No, she is talking about something else. So when a woman is now, generally a woman should be feminine towards a man, especially if she's interested in him.
Right.
But the part of the femininity where it comes to submission, there's a certain level of trust that needs to be exhibited for her to
Oh, he
open up.
needs he needs the same thing. He needs a certain level of trust to be masculine.
He should already be
He's
masculine.
already be masculine. Why is he not masculine as a man?
Oh, because you're not feminine. He has to bring out your femininity. You have to bring out his masculinity.
If I gotta bring that out of you, that already ain't been there. As a man, you're supposed to be
Oh,
masculine.
do you
Period.
see the hypocrisy in what I'm trying to say now?
And but like
Things
a
are just
man, if you know what I'm saying, a man.
Well, we want a woman.
Are you going to get a woman?
not all
No,
do.
no, no, no. All the women here on this panel have just said that there is a certain level of masculinity with them, and that there's going to be some work you need to put in to bring out that femininity.
I personally
So,
think men like a balance of both because I think a balance of both breeds a strong woman that he
oh,
knows
so
who to
why don't
back
you?
and knows who
So
can like that can
so
handle.
just take the guy who wears heels on Saturdays.
Come on now.
He'll wear
Extreme,
dressing heels on
Can I
Saturdays.
get a
extreme,
button? Like how does a
extreme,
button work?
extreme.
You did not
All
have to
right,
go
no,
all the way to the left on that one.
seriously.
Right.
No, I mean it's a little bit of a joke, but of course, right? Nobody wants no woman is going to take a feminine presenting man. Like you have to be masculine presenting, and then maybe somewhere down the line you could be a little bit more open with your woman, but still, I wouldn't even take that risk. But a lot of times we tell women, oh, it's okay to be masculine presenting or be 50-50 of both and have both and that you could play around with both and men are just supposed to accept you. And men have been tolerating that for the longest. But I think if you have a truly feminine woman, then she's going to be feminine regardless of whatever man she's with. And that's why I say femininity is so rare when you look for it in women.
I can
And,
agree with
you
that
know,
in today's age. I can agree with you. I guess.
thank you. All right.
Oh
So
my.
I'm going to leave you guys with that. Do you guys have any final thoughts? You could shout your Instagram handles out where people can find you. Just go around.
Well, I'll give y'all my business page. It's couture_aesthetic on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
All right. You can find me at Darissa, DARESSIA. That's on Instagram, or you can find me. That's on Instagram and YouTube, or you can find me on TikTok, Darissa_official, and that's it.
All right. Last but not least.
Press a button for me, please. Let me get a button,
What button do you want?
a good button, not no cap, not no.
Stupid.
Oh,
Oh, see how you do?
shots fired.
See how you do?
No. What button do you want?
Give me the dance hall horns.
I'll give you the money one.
I take
I'll
that.
give you the money one.
My Instagram is forever_ICA, and my business page is Autumn's Aroma. It's soy candles.
Okay, great. Shout out to all the ladies on the panel. They were very respectful, very entertaining. We had a great conversation. And shout out to everybody who's been watching. Stay tuned for more episodes. We're dropping episodes every Friday. Look out for more content coming your way. And yeah, shout out to all the ladies here. You know, great job. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you here. And hope to see you guys again. And yeah, we are done, guys.
Thank you for having us.
See you later.
Bye.